Hi everyone, and in this lecture we're going to look at noun endings in the genitive singular. Again, this is something that you should have encountered already in first year, but this is just a quick review of it to get you on track to talk about movement from, which is the topic of this general section of the textbook. The genitive, as you may remember from first year, is a little bit challenging. However, the good news is we're just doing genitive singular today. In the future, we will hit genitive plural, and then we may want to cross ourselves and have a moment of prayer and generally do whatever we need to do to survive that terrible challenge. But today, it's just the genitive singular, which is much more cuddly and friendly. So let's jump into it. And we're going to start with masculine nouns. Masculine nouns ending in a hard consonant, which is most masculine nouns, add a in the genitive singular. And we have some examples here. Magazine, a store, becomes is magazina. Universitet, a university, becomes is universiteta. Stol, a table, becomes sa stola. And then there are a few masculine nouns that end in i kratkoje or mjaki znak. And when they end in i kratkoje or mjaki znak, we drop the final letter. We drop the i kratkoje or the mjaki znak, and we add ja. So for example, muzej, museum, becomes is muzeja. Notice that we drop the i kratkoje and add ja in its place. Slavar, dictionary, becomes is slavaria from the dictionary. And notice we drop the mjaki znak and we add ja in its place. So that is masculine nouns. And again, they're pretty straightforward. Almost all of them, you're just going to add a. If they have an i kratkoje or a mjaki znak at the end, you're going to drop that and add ja. Next up, we have neuter nouns in the genitive singular. And neuter nouns have the same endings as masculine nouns in the genitive singular. The only difference is that since neuter nouns end in a vowel, we have to get rid of the vowel and add the appropriate ending. So if the neuter noun ends in o, we drop that o and add a. So okno, window, becomes iz okna, from the window. Kresla, armchair, becomes iz kresla, out of the armchair. Ozera, lake, becomes sozera, from the lake. And just as a side note, a lot of times when you talk about bodies of water, you're going to use na and sa if you're at or on the body of water. So if we say sa ozera, we mean from the lake, like you were at the lakeside, you were visiting the lake, and now you're coming home. You're not coming out of the water, you're coming from the lakeside. We can also have neuter nouns ending in ye, and in that case, we drop the ye and add ja. So moria becomes smoria. It's going to sound basically the same in pronunciation, but instead of writing ye, we're going to write ja. Note again, we have this body of water, and we're going to use na to indicate location and sa to indicate motion from if we're at the seaside. So smoria means from the seaside. Zanyatia, college class, becomes zanyatia. Again, it's going to sound the same. The pronunciation is going to be basically the same because of vowel reduction, but we're going to write a ya instead of a yeah. The same with общежитие, dormitory, is going to become из общежития. But we're going to pronounce that as kind of a ya, so из общежития. It's going to sound more or less the same, but we write ya instead of yeah. Finally, we have feminine nouns in the genitive singular, and feminine nouns are a little bit trickier because the 7-letter spelling rule is going to come into play, but they're still pretty straightforward in the genitive singular. So let's start with hard stem nouns. These are nouns that normally end in a in the feminine, and in those cases, we're going to drop the a and add y. So škola, school, is going to become iz školy. Moskva, Moscow, is going to become iz Moskvy. Komnata, room, is going to become iz komnaty. Strana, country, is going to become iz stranly. However, now we have to worry about the 7-letter spelling rule. And so if we have a velar stem noun, if we have a noun that ends in ka, of which there are many, The A is going to become E, soft E, because we can't write after ka. So Respublika, republic, is going to become Iz Respubliki with a soft E. Aka, the Aka River, is going to become Saki, Sa-aki. Note again, body of water, we use Sa. Rika, river, Sriki. Again, body of water, we use Sa. We also use E with feminine nouns ending in ya or mягкий знак. And in those cases, we're going to drop the ya or the mягкий знак and add E. So leksia, lecture, sa leksii. Francia, France, из Франции. Площадь, city square, сплощади. For our final slide on the PowerPoint, I have a chart here of the genitive singular noun endings, and I've broken it into hard stem, soft stem, and velar and husher stems. So if we look at it, we have hard stem masculine is going to take a, so из Novgoroda, из Kieva, из Vladimira. Hard stem neuter is going to take a as well. Из окна, из Одинцова, из Pavlova. Одинцова, remember, ending with an o, is a town outside of Moscow. Pavlova, also ending with an o, is a town outside of Nizhny Novgorod. It's where I used to live. Hard stem feminine nouns are going to end in I in the genitive singular. So из Москвы, из Флориды, из квартиры. Soft stem nouns are going to end in ya for masculine in the genitive singular, so из музея, из Севастополя. Neuter soft stem nouns are also going to take ya in the genitive singular, so занятия, з моря, из общежития. And soft stem feminine nouns are going to take I, из Сибири, с площади, с кухни. As a side note, you can use either sa or is for kuchnia, but it's more common to use na and sa for kuchnia than va and is. And then we have velar and husher stem nouns. So if they're masculine, they're just going to take regular a, is banka, is Vladivostoka, is Peterburga. Neuter is also going to take a, like is Damisha, a big house. There's not a lot of words like this that are neuter. And then feminine is going to take I, z Kamchatki, from Kamchatka, the peninsula in the Far East, Salyaski, from Alaska. And so that's it. It's actually pretty straightforward. So I hope that was a useful refresher for you. Go forth and put things in the genitive.